Howdly haydily there, YouTube. Boy, have I been looking forward to this one for like many, many months. I've had this one at the bottom of my pile because I knew it was one of my favorites and I wanted it to go last. Different franchise here than we've seen at all before in anything I've unboxed. So we're going a little off the board. Growing up as a kid in the 1980s, there were many, many things to watch. Not as many overwhelming choices as there are today. But the good thing about back in the day when things were on TV and there was only so many shows available is that they were all good for the most part. Whereas today you have so much shit out there. People say, oh, this show is great. And you watch it and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? There's so much drivel out there nowadays. But in the 80s and stuff, all the cartoons were good. Most of the shows were good. And this actually was one of the highest rated shows during its run. I think I read that it was only behind Dallas or something like that as kind of the second most watched show of the era. So without further ado, why don't I just show you what we're unboxing today? This little toy comes from a show called The Dukes of Hazzard. So the Dukes of Hazzard ran from 1979 to 1985, I believe it was, for almost 150 episodes. The story centered on a family with the last name of Duke. Uncle Jesse was the patriarch of the family, and then there was three cousins, Bo, Luke, and Daisy. Bo and Luke were caught smuggling moonshine, which was distilled on the Duke farm. Uncle Jesse was kind of a moonshine brewer and runner and whatnot. And so the Dukes got caught running moonshine, and so they were going to jail. But Uncle Jesse struck a bargain with the police or the feds or whoever does that sort of case, in saying, I'll stop brewing moonshine if you just let the boys off and don't put them in jail. So basically the Duke boys are on probation. They can't cross the state line, they can't carry firearms, yada yada, which is why in the show you see whenever they have to shoot something, it's with a crossbow. And I didn't realize it until I was reading up afterwards, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's why they never had guns, okay. So the show takes place in a fictional county in in Georgia called Hazzard County. So that's why it's called the Dukes of Hazzard. The closest big city they ever talk about in the show is always Atlanta. So Hazzard County is fictional, but it's supposed to be set somewhere in the vicinity of Atlanta. So basically, the show is just the misadventures of the Duke boys as they kind of always run up against the local law enforcement in Hazzard County. The guy that runs the police department and kind of basically the whole county is a guy named Boss Hogg. And the sheriff of the police department, Roscoe P. Coltrane, is kind of his right-hand man, his whipping boy, his stooge, if you will, his lackey. And the two of them are always running schemes, most of the time always illegal, to try and further their profits and their gains and whatnot. And the Duke boys always run up kind of against them while they're trying to pull these schemes off. And thus the animosity between the Dukes and the police department, and why there is always so many car chases. Now, speaking of car chases, the toy we have from the show is the Duke Boys car, a 1969 Dodge Charger known as the General Lee. It's got the 01 on the side, the name on the top, bright orange. This is probably one of the most iconic TV show vehicles of all time. Everybody who grew up in my era, even if you weren't really a fan of the show and you didn't watch it very much or whatever, I can guarantee you, I can go to like my classmates when I was growing up in public school, all of them, and go, do you recognize this car? And they go, oh, the General Lee. Like everybody, this was such it's like the 18 van, right? But even more recognizable. This is the car. As a kid, loving cars and loving speed, and of course loving crashes and comedy. the Dukes of Hazzard, and especially this Dodge Charger, the General Lee, was right up my alley. So I've been looking for a long time to get a nice General Lee. There's been some out there that have been okay, but they weren't big enough. They didn't have enough detail. There was something I didn't like about the way it was put together, either the wheels or whatever, it wasn't quite right. But this here, I found on AliExpress, 1/18 scale, and literally everything in it looks like it's done to the nines. So much detail, so much accuracy to it. And I've been able to kind of determine some of that just by kind of looking at it and looking inside of it and stuff from the open box. So, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up for good, get it out, roll it around, open it up, check under the hood, so to speak, and get the full deets on it. So, but before we do that, I'm gonna run a clip from an episode of the Dukes of Hazzard, just so you can get a sense of some of the characters, and of course the General Lee. This clip is a little bit different because although the Duke boys start out driving the General Lee, it's not how they finish the clip. Now, with the Turtles movie, when I reviewed those Turtles toys a couple episodes ago of these videos, it was blocked because of that movie clip. So if this one's blocked because of this TV show clip, I will just run this video without the clip. So my apologies if you don't actually get to see the clip of the General Lee right now. But anyway, let's give it a try.
Contrary, Mr. Hall. He's very much alive. Wait, Maury. No, wait. Have a healthy car now. On over there, gentlemen. Yeah.
Boss, what are we going to do now? We sure can't catch him in that thing.
Looky.
What?
Well. Looks like we're gonna take them Duke's call and see where yours got took, won't we?
Dead?
On the contrary.
Yeah.
He's very much alive. Here, now come on, Roscoe. Now we got the faster car.
Now, ain't that just like Hazzard? Just about the time I get things straight, everybody's changed cars.
Now help them there for now, will you? I got the pedal to the metal. Come on. There they go. Now don't lose. There you go.
Nobody's gonna catch us with that bass now, Mr. Beckman.
Devon! We left it in the other car. Turn this around quickly.
Now where are they going?
Oh, follow them and we'll do.
Well, shit.
Look what's coming back this way.
Yeah, the question is why?
Looks like they forgot something. We got it, they don't.
What are we gonna do?
Drive.
In this thing?
As far as it takes us.
How long you reckon that radiator can last? Of course, it ain't one of them there dinky foreign jobs.
You know how to drive this?
I'm doing good. I'm good.
Well, you ain't doing as good as the Duke boys do.
Here they come.
Which Bo and Luke driving that thing car for?
Oh no.
Watch my truck, you idiot!
That wasn't Roscoe in the sheriff's car?
No, they're driving a General Lee. Yeah, let's go.
Now, Uncle Jesse, he don't know who to chase, so he's just following the smoke. fleeters never could get the hang of roadblocks.
You get the feeling we're needing some sort of parade here? Yeah, but not for much longer, cousin. The way that radiator's acting up, we ain't never gonna make it up top this hill.
Maybe they ought to set up a roadblock.
What are you doing here? No, don't go backward!
Good thing nobody's driving a semi.
Okay, here we go with the General Lee, and you'll be happy to know that I remembered scissors this time, unlike that little weight you had in my last video when I had to go get them. Last video or second last video, I don't remember. Anyways, I'm so jacked to get this out of the box and feel the weight of it, roll it around, check that engine. There's only one toy behind this that's outside of my Transformers toys that I kind of was waiting on. I didn't know whether to put this one last or the one I have in the closet right now last, but I eventually decided on doing the General Lee today, and next time we'll have that other one. It was a real tough choice. I love both of these toys probably equally, but yeah, life's full of tough choices, eh? Which toy do I open next, right? Oh, look at that. Okay, what do we have in here? What do we have in here? We got mailing list. Interesting. Okay. What we have here is this is from way back in the day, 2014. This is kind of their catalog, I guess, maybe. F1 cars, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, interesting. But we're here for the main event, are we not? Oh my god, this thing looks amazing. The only thing I'm unsure of is kind of where the antenna is. If it's in here, I don't want to break it, but I don't see it anywhere. There's a slot for it in the back of the car. Maybe it doesn't come with it, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, what's the easiest way to get this over here? Oh no, there's the antenna. Okay, perfect. What is the easiest way? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, we got some. There's nothing in there I'm missing. That off. Snip. Snip. Okay. There she blows, Jacques Cousteau. Look at that thing. Oh my god, yeah, it's heavy. Whew. I am horny for this car, to be honest, to put it not too mildly. And then, of course, the antenna. I think it has suspension, too. Either that or I'm breaking it. Nope, it does. Okay. There she is. She's wonderful. We'll take some pictures of it so you can see it in up close and in detail. And I think I'm going to sleep with this one tonight. It's going to be on my side table, I'm not going to lie. So what'd you think? Not too shabby, eh? Oh my God, this thing is amazing. Like, this is exactly the General Lee I've been looking for my whole life. Everything about it, like back end. Oh, the only thing, this is the only downside, is that this thing doesn't stand too well, but nothing a little glue can't take care of if I feel like leaving it in there. For now, we'll just leave it out. But back end looks amazing. Huh, those lights turn. Not sure if that's supposed to be on purpose or not. Anyways, never mind. Front end looks even better. All the detailing with all the colors and the numbers and the writing and everything is amazing. That engine, you see the picture of that engine? Like, everything in there is so detailed. Painted, the little buttons on the batteries are painted, little dials or whatever. The trunk, I was wondering what this thing was. It's for the fuel tank. It's a fuel line that goes to the tank, I guess. Maybe that's how it worked back in the day, but only one of the doors open, because if you'll see in that clip, I think when they're getting in and out, they don't open the doors. It's like a modified stock car sort of things. So the doors are actually welded shut. So that's why they're always climbing in and out of the windows. So this one actually opens, I think, just so you can get a look at the interior and stuff. But the interior too, like you saw the pictures of that, amazing. The seat belts, the dial, the gauges on the dash, the steering wheel, like the gear shift, everything is just nuts on this car. And then of course, like I said, it's got some shocks on it. The wheels turn, and even the underside has all this detail on it, right? So this thing, you can tell, is very high quality. It's heavy. It's everything about it is just so well detailed that you can tell this was done by a company that probably cares about accuracy and about the subject matter that they are putting out there. So if I can find other cars from other TV shows that I really want, like Kit from Knight Rider or the A-Team van, if I find them from the same company that did this, it'll be a no-brainer, because this is one of my favorite toys of all time. Till next time, wait for that next one. It's gonna be a good one.
Meow.